Hello, good night, good night, good night. Happy Saturday, one and all. Welcome to the best NBA show in the whole wide world. Better than First Take, Colin Cowherd, all of those people. We're bringing you the raw details tonight. And with me, I have Devin. He changed his name from the All Rounder. You know, we have Wally West in his nice Sports Frenzy merch. I don't want you to come show off your muscles tonight in the boss. So, thank you for keeping it modest. We have Cream over there in his pullover, ready to talk some real basketball. We have Vincent Irvin. We call him Grandpa. He's here to give us the history of the basketball, and we are joined by the pastor. The pastor seemed like he just coming from the sermon and he had to join us. He liked the topics that we have going on tonight. Mr. Gary Dixon. How are we doing, gentlemen?
Good.
Blessings.
All right, blessings. So before we go ahead and dive into the topics that we are going to announce the winner of the NBA draft. I'm not really sure if I agree, with the winner, based on everything that went on. I'm not really sure. I think it was a popularity contest, or I don't know. But Devin was the winner. He had 20. He had 20 votes. I don't know, Gary. I don't know why you're making up your face like you expected to win, boss. So Devin had 20. Devin had 20 votes. He won by a landslide. No competition. I guess people see LeBron James' name.
Clearly rigged.
Just say,
Clearly rigged.
all right. I came
So the second and third people.
I
get
came.
a consolation prize.
I came. Well, only three get the prize. So listen, if you come in the top three, Gary. So second, I came second. I had 7 votes. Thank you for all who voted for me. And third was VJ with 6 votes. Cream came fourth. Gary came fifth with 1 vote, and we're searching for that vote to see if he can vote for himself. And
1 vote we get.
1 vote, boss. And Robbie Rich didn't get any vote. They didn't show Robbie Rich any love. But I'll vote for you, Robbie Rich. So you have 1,
No.
so you're tied with Gary.
No love
All
for
right.
Mitchell.
All right, so now let us get into business. And obviously, the Warriors and the Lakers are going to play tonight. So, what better way to start than to start with, those 2 teams who I believe have been struggling. But Devin, I'm going to start with you. There have been talk about, Russell Westbrook not being happy in LA. He said that he wants out next season. But I want to ask you this, Devin. Do you think that after this contract, do you think that there's a team out there that will give Russell Westbrook money to play for them in the NBA? Or do you believe next year is Russell Westbrook's last year in the NBA?
No, he's still going to play in the NBA. He was still playing in the NBA. But here was going against him. It is, I was reading an article today about his defiance. Because, I guess they want to change his role. The article didn't tell me, what they want his role to be. But, I don't know if it's a case where he'll come off the bench or I don't know what his role will be. But it's with the Lakers, they're saying they want to change his role right now, and he's very upset about that. You know what I mean?
So Devin, as you talk about that, I remember when these 3 got together, and all I heard was, we will do whatever it takes to win. If we need to, we don't care if who scored 30 a night. If I have 2 points, that's no problem. As long as we win, right? And I think they're trying to this. All right. So let me tell you this about Russell Westbrook. When Russell Westbrook is on the floor for the Los Angeles Lakers, he is a negative 148. So for plus minus, he is minus 148. When he is off the floor, the Lakers are plus 26. So you do the maths and you can tell me if you think Russell Westbrook is good for the team or not. But
that's why obviously they want to change his role.
Yeah.
right? But he think within himself he still has something to contribute, or he's so defined, and the stats are against him. So I don't know if it's a case where I definitely think I don't know possibilities for Lakers to trade him for next season, but in terms of another team picking him up, yes, there are teams out there will pick him up because of the name Russell Westbrook. But in terms of his role, say whichever team comes, I'm not too sure what his role will be and how he's will be acceptable for that role.
All right, all right, Devin. So, so let me give a little clarity, and I'm sure you guys know this, but just for the audience, right? Um, the NBA is the only league that you have to match contracts, right? That's the only
Mm-hmm.
league. You don't have to do it in the NFL. Obviously, the baseball they do have any cap, right? So, but for an expiring contract, I think a team. So probably, I think they will probably still go back to the same Houston Rockets and try and give Russell Westbrook to Houston Rockets because it's an expiring contract, and I think John Wall contract is expiring as well. So they're just going to exchange expiring contract to see who is the better fit. But Cream, let me get you in here, Cream, because we we have to look at Russell Westbrook now. KD didn't want to play with him. Paul George didn't want to play with him. James Harden didn't want to play with him. No, LeBron James doesn't want to play with him. So when you look at this now, I mean, all the triple doubles are nice and fancy, and yeah, it fill up the stat sheet. I want to ask you two questions, Cream. Looking at it now, do you think that Russell Westbrook still deserves to be a top 75 player? That's one. And two, the same question as Devin. Do you believe he will remain in the league after his contract expires?
In terms of him still being in the league, I think he will. I think maybe a small market team that is currently in a rebuild can probably bring in a big name like like Westbrook to help fill seats. So he can do his thing in a market like that where much isn't expected. He can go out there and fill the stat sheet and get him triple doubles, and where the turnovers won't be looked at much, like what in OKC and other areas that he's been. In terms of him still being a top 75 player, um, I think what he has achieved over his career, um, his biggest achievement is the what 3-time triple double.
Yep.
So, um,
But then,
He
Cream, let
also
me.
won league MVP. He also won league
yeah,
MVP.
yes, and a league MVP, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
but he won league MVP because of that blasted triple double. But all right, so Vincent, let me get you in right here because you are, as I said, you are the grandpa of the show. So you know the history. But when you look at point guards, Tony Parker, right? When you look at a Tony Parker, you think that Westbrook should be in the top 75 over a player like a Tony Parker, like even a Manu Ginobili. Do you think that Russell Westbrook deserves to be in the top 75 over them? And also, do you believe that he has a space in the NBA after? You're mute. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Night again, everybody. As you say, the thing about Westbrook is this: whereas basketball is not a numbers sport as baseball is, numbers still matters. So when you look at Westbrook's statistics, we cannot deny them. You understand? Westbrook, if the problem I had with Westbrook earlier in his career was the fact that he tends to make poor decision at some critical points in the game. But throughout the game, he tends to play good, but he tends to make mistake at the end. The thing about Westbrook is that he's not a very good drum shooter. Doesn't shoot the basketball well. What he has relied on for his career was his athleticism, how athletic he was,
Mm-hmm.
and every player in the NBA, as you call me Grams, that has come in the NBA and have been an athletic player, as they get older, they have learned to change the game because you begin to lose step. you don't have that explosiveness that you used to have anymore. And as a result of that, if you don't change and adapt your game to ensure that you can shoot without getting to the basket, then your time in the league gets shorter. I still
Absolutely.
believe that I still believe that Westbrook will play in the league. He's still better than a number of players that are even out there on teams. Yes, he makes some poor decisions, but in terms of how he plays the game, has to be changing how he plays in order to adapt to what Lakers is doing now. We knew it wouldn't. In fact, pretty much everybody knew it wouldn't have worked because Westbrook is ball dominant, LeBron James is ball dominant, and none of them. Well, LeBron shoots better, but Westbrook is not a shooter, so he can't plays off the ball. So that's a problem. The fact that he doesn't want to change his game remind me of Allen Iverson. So these players who are, they are strong in their personality and how they play the game. They don't like to come off the bench.
Yep.
If he doesn't adapt to coming off the bench, then yes, he is going to have a very short time left in this league.
But 1 second, Vincent. So 1 second, and I'm glad you brought up AI, because a lot of persons love AI, and I believe if you go back and you ask AI if he would change the tail end of his career, I think he would say yes. I think he would say yes because you know, and I think Carmelo got the blueprint and say, hey, shoot, they're about to kick me out of this league. They did kick him out of the league, and he got another opportunity, and then he realized, hey, it was just my ego, and I decided, come off of the bench, and now, he's a good little bench player. I think he's top 75, and I think he'll make the Hall of Fame. But what I want to ask you about Russell Westbrook, Vincent, and then I'm going to go to Wally. I soon read Jason comment, but the thing is, Vincent, is that I am looking at Russell Westbrook. All right, let us look at, for example, a player like Jamal Crawford. Jamal Crawford has come out and he has announced many times, I'm not retired. Absolutely nobody is taking him up for whatever reason, right? But Russell Westbrook, no, he's on the same can sell tickets, but I think what is being shown now over his last 3-4 teams is that he's not a good locker room guy when it doesn't go his way, right? So if him come in and it's not like them can say, okay, Westbrook wanted to come in and push the young guys and get the young guys going and motivate the young guys. He doesn't want to do that because I don't think he has the self-awareness to understand that, hey, I am not the MVP I once was, but, I don't think he has that. So with that being said, Vincent, what team, can you say you still see him in the league? So just tell me a team right now off your back.
Let me put it like this, and I guess probably others can say if they believe this is so or not. The difference with Jamal Crawford and Westbrook is, even though Westbrook makes bad decisions at times, if you even look at the team up to Washington that he was on before he gets the Lakers, if you put Westbrook on a bad team, he will bring that team to at least about a 35-40 win. He will get you some victory. He's going to get you some losses as well. You understand? And that's just the truth about him. If you put him on a bad team, because the team is bad, what he has not demonstrated is the ability to play with other great players and then I learn to know when not to do some things and allow other strength to take over. He has not learned to do that. But if you put him on a bad team, if you put him even back on OKC, he's going to bring them to a 35, 40.
I doubt that because when I look at OKC, I'm looking at, I want to bring in Wally here, but I'm looking at Shea Alexander, I'm looking at Josh Giddey, and I think they have a couple pieces over there. I think Westbrook going over there, I don't think he's going to have the self-awareness to know, hey, these young guys should be evolving. Let me take a step back and just help them. No, he's going to want the triple doubles. He's going to want the rebounds, the assists. I remember this man used to fight Steven Adams for rebounds. Fine, man. Like the man there, the 3-point line, Steven Adams under the basket. That is Russell Westbrook jumping for the rebound. So I don't think he has the self-awareness right there. But Wally, let me get in because, I don't know if you're a Russell guy or an AI guy or, whoever, but you can let us know. But what do you think about Russell Westbrook on the Lakers? And here's some sports friends is saying Wally's favorite player is AI. All right, what do you think about Russell Westbrook on the Lakers itself? And do you see him thriving with some other team?
I'm listening to. I'm not sure if the questions you've been asking concerning Russell Westbrook is really you playing a role as a panelist, as a moderator, or you really come done a 180. Because I remember when we were having the discussion about Russell Westbrook at the beginning of the season, right? We made posts about Russell Westbrook performance. Oh, it's just preseason. After the first few games, lack of chemistry, the lack of self-awareness, which was mentioned from the get-go. Oh, it's early season. And now you're coming into the light, thankfully. As I said, I don't know if it's a genuine position or you're just playing a role as the moderator. But
Yes, I'm the host. I have to be
Man used to
objective.
put up stats every minute. Westbrook. So
Well,
yo,
well, right,
and
so
I,
like,
and I badger
can I
people
defend the
and I
host?
throw out power Wally West and man him on
Can
the
I defend
field.
the host
Yes.
for a minute?
Defend the
The
Sir.
horse.
host goes by the philosophy that with more information, his opinion is
Oh, it
subjected
changed.
to change.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. A
Me hear him
thousand
one
percent.
hear that. All right.
No, but the thing is that the more information was there at the beginning of the season, but he was blinded, right, by his fanaticism,
Him just slow man. Him just one of the
right?
slow man the multi blacks.
But
I just
but
say.
the problem is I from Russell Westbrook was at OKC. I said that this guy is a liability. You cannot have and unlock self-awareness. You cannot have somebody like Easy Money Sniper, the Slim Reaper, with the game on the line, and you take it upon yourself, right? With it through the whole game, right? You're playing within the offense. You're giving KD the ball. You're allowing him to create, and then no, when it's crunch time, you decide that no man, me need to do it now. That is a clear lack of self-awareness.
Yep.
And it's clear that he's delusional, absolutely delusional.
Yep.
And you saw it with KD, you saw it with Harden, everywhere he goes. Now I see person saying that boy, he could go elsewhere to sell tickets. That ship has sailed. His stock value is absolutely so poor now. There are instances, I can't remember which game it was, but anytime they were playing at Stables and Russell Westbrook, I was about to shoot a three, and the whole crowd are booing him, and I tell him, no, when you have
Don't
your
shoot.
home crowd, I tell you not to shoot. It shows you that you are at the absolute lowest point in your career. No, unlike Carmelo Anthony, who had the self-awareness, because I saw the interview with him, where after his time out in the league, he said, boy, I really had to look into myself, and it was a tough pill for me to swallow, but I have to understand that if I am going to continue to play in the NBA, I have to come off the bench. And he said it took him some time to digest it, but he actually came around. That is not Russell Westbrook. He still believes at this point in time, he's still the man. I cannot forget in Houston when they were playing the Lakers, they were down by double digits, and he's talking nonsense about a better double. And LeBron was just laughing at him like, what is wrong with this madman?
Yep.
And at this point, I can't forgive LeBron some beating, because having seen how Russell Westbrook has been operating, how do you know as legend bring this man into the Lakers? It was an
Hold on. All right,
absolute
Wally. All right, Wally, I'm going to pause you right there because we are going to get into that, but not right now. So let's
okay, all right.
all right.
Yeah,
So
man. So,
Gary,
but right now, I don't
yes,
see his attitude, his
man.
bad attitude on the court, bad attitude in the locker room. His athleticism is gone. He's not lighting up the sports center again with those powerful dunks over big centers. All of that is gone, and he still thinks he is where he was 5 years ago. So no, nobody now, and especially with that contract, no team with
So you
with sense going touch him with a long stick.
so you are saying after next year when his contract is up, Westbrook will be out of the league?
If yeah, I don't see any unless there is some brainless move by a GM. If any GM with sense, not going to take up
Yeah, I
Russell.
don't. Yeah, I think.
You know, they can easily trade. Well, I wouldn't say easily, but if the Knicks are willing to take Russ, he can be a show for the
No, sir.
Garden.
No,
Because
Uh,
right now,
no,
oh,
sir.
hold on. Right now,
Not this Westbrook.
Madison Square Garden needs that figure
no,
that can pull.
hey,
No,
what are
but
the cream?
he's not that person.
Cream,
That's a
cream.
point, Cream.
You see if
He's
Tibbs
not
is the
that
coach,
person. No,
cream. If Tibbs is the coach, let me
Not
tell
with
Definitely
you,
not.
tips. Not
Westbrook
with
will
tips.
never be
Not
over
with
there.
tips.
It will
Not
never
with
be over there.
never,
All right.
never,
But if they
never.
want something to be excited about in the garden, because right now there's nothing in the garden going on in the garden. It's
No,
dead.
Well,
but
I don't. Well,
No,
listen,
I I
Russ
wouldn't say
Russ
that, but
Russ would
yeah.
give you the triple doubles guaranteed.
Listen. Let me tell you. Let me tell you why I don't think the Garden will take Westbrook because they have Julius Randle, and
Barrett.
I think that is throwing oil on fire right
Well,
there. So
it would be in a trade, so then I probably have to give up Randall and
nah,
probably
who
somebody
won't
else.
give up Randle for Westbrook, brother? Come on.
no,
That's
they
what I'm saying.
cannot do that. They cannot do that.
If they would have do it, if they would have do it, that'd be a big if.
No,
That would
no,
have been
that
a
that
huge.
that
but
no,
but
that
small markets like San Antonio
no.
or
With
No,
Popovich,
Orlando,
absolutely not.
Orlando,
Popovich, no,
Absolutely not.
no. The
Absolutely not.
Orlando,
only listen. The
I
Orlando
would.
only
is that option as well. The Magic is that option as well too.
let me show you how bad it is, Cream. I don't even think Westbrook could be on TV right now. You see, like how them always bring people on TNT and ESPN and so. I don't think they'll give Westbrook a job on TV right now. I
As
just
a what do you
not
mean
as an
as a
analyst. No, I don't think. No, I don't think they'll give him a job at all. I just think right now because okay, Gary, I'm going to get to you because I want you to answer this question.
Mhm.
And you can tell me what you think about it. So after the game where they got blown out by the Clippers again for the fourth time this season, right? They asked Westbrook up there and they were like, hey, was this how you were expecting it going? Then obviously him going in like a defensive way, him going in like a passive aggressive. What were my expectations? How do you know my expectations? So then the guy was saying, I'm sure he didn't expect this. He was like, hey, I had no expectations coming into this. Well, obviously it was a lie because they were saying that this is a championship roster and all that kind of stuff. So Gary,
Mhm.
do you see do you see? I think Lakers have 20 games remaining. Do you
Mhm.
see a way? And right now, they're basically tied with the Pelicans for the ninth spot,
Nice seed. Mhm.
right? And San Antonio and the Kings and all them people coming. So, do you see a way how Westbrook can salvage this season to make his name good out there, or is it over for him? And the same question I ask everybody: after his contract next year, do you see a team that Russell Westbrook can be on?
All right. First question. If I see a way that he can salvage it, his season based on what he's been doing on the Lakers season,
Mm.
absolutely not. Um, we have to realize that Russell Westbrook's game, his personality, his demeanor, what he does on the court, even in the locker room, it is a character trait of his. It is his nature. From OKC, we have followed his career. He's not someone that adapts very well. He doesn't change. He believes in one style. His style, he gets the ball, and it's all about him, right? Coming into the Lakers, everybody believed that LeBron could have, you know, modified his game because we see what LeBron is, his career. He tends to make players around him better, from Cleveland going into Miami. So I believe it was a project that, listen, he said to himself, all right, I'm in my 19th season. I need some help. We can do this. So he basically sanctioned, if it was the James call, I believe that he was, a part of it in terms of getting Russell Westbrook on the team. And he believed that he could have done it. But we know that basically Russell Westbrook's career in its entirety has showed us no indication of him changing his game or adapting. And I see no reason to believe that between now and the end of the season, the next 20 games, he will change his style. Matter of fact, the Lakers at one point, outside of being traded or the talks of him being traded, it was floating around that Vogel would ask him to come off the bench and run the second unit. And I don't know and see in which world you could go to Russell Westbrook, and say to him, listen, you're not starting or you're not going to start, you're going to start coming off the bench. His ego wouldn't allow it. And we see that his mannerism in the locker room, even at press conferences, that's just his nature. There's no way Russell Westbrook can adapt. And players in the league will follow the league from, right throughout the 80s, 90s, 2000s, the players that excel and become all-time greats. Not saying that he's not an all-time great, but his trajectory could be even more if he, had the mentality, like a lot of these players, to just adapt. When you get older, as a lot of the guys here said, even Vincent Irving, you're not explosive throughout your entire career. If you're not a good jump shooter, you depend on your athleticism a lot. Derrick Rose was one of those athletes, very athletic. He lost his athleticism because of the knee injury and so forth. Russell Westbrook, they typically show a lot of blooper reels with him. Right? If you watch the shows, especially Undisputed and those shows, you see Russell Westbrook, a lot of brainless decisions. I see him going up sometimes for some easy layups, missing layups, can't even dunk the ball anymore. His game, his athleticism, all of that has disintegrated. And if you are that player that you have lost your athleticism, you were never a good jump shooter, and you depended a lot on that, you have to now adapt your game and change your game, to actually, help your team and grow your game. And he has not done that, and he has not showed the inclination to do that. So I don't think it is salvageable for Russell Westbrook for the end of the season. I think in the short term into next season, he will be traded. I don't see him.
All right. So check me out. So now I'm going to talk about the Lakers organization on a whole, because I believe there are some things that, and obviously I'm going to start with Devin because he's a Lakers fan here, but I'm going to list out some facts, and I want Devin to tell me if he agrees with me. All right. So number one, I said Frank Vogel should be fired. Right. And again, I don't think Frank Vogel is a championship coach. I don't think Frank Vogel is somebody who should coach superstars. I don't think he's a guy that can coach egos, right? If you notice with Frank Vogel, he is the only constant. When you're the coach, you're the only constant. Everything else is moving pieces. Players get hurt, players get traded, players indiscipline, whatever the thing is, it's always movements. So as the coach, you have to be the one who is adaptable. I don't think he's adaptable.
All right,
but let us look at the Lakers organization.
Quick one, Kims.
Yes.
Just before you go on. So is it that you are negating the bubble championship?
No, what I'm saying with the bubble championship, I'm not really negating it, but everything really and truly, if we are being honest, everything went into the league in the Lakers' favor. 4 months, 5 months off, AD get healthy, LeBron got healthy, and they just made a big run at it. If we are being honest.
Careful now, and they may use it against your goat.
Mickey
All
Mouse.
right. So David,
Cubic zirconia.
All right, Devin, listen to me, Devin. So let's talk about it. LeBron has been with the Lakers for 4 years now, right? Okay. First year, they had Magic Johnson, right? They had Magic Johnson, and a lot of reports are saying, anyway, I'll talk about that in a few. But they had Magic Johnson. So obviously, LeBron was going to go there, whether Magic Johnson is there, yes or no. But Magic Johnson being there is just something special about it. Let us be fair. All right. Now, they wanted to get Ty Lue. Obviously, why wouldn't you get Ty Lue? He just went to 4 finals with LeBron. They just came from 3-1 down. He is one of the only coaches I've ever seen held LeBron accountable for what he did. Right? So Ty Lue was supposed to be the coach of the Lakers. Right? So this is why I don't buy the argument about LeBron wanted Russell Westbrook and the Lakers just signed whatever because he wanted Russell Westbrook. LeBron wanted Ty Lue. What the Lakers did was, They only wanted to give Ty Lue a 2-year contract. Ty Lue wanted more than 2 years, and he wanted to be paid as a championship coach. Why? Because Frig, he is a championship coach, right? They didn't want to do it. So then he went to the Clippers, which we see what the Clippers are doing now. But the Lakers wanted to go cheap. So they went for Frank Vogel, the cheap man, and just give Frank Vogel anything and say, Frank Vogel, guess what? We are going to choose your staff. So they choose Jason Kidd and they choose whoever they wanted to choose. All right, all said and done. LeBron didn't want Frank Vogel at all. But all said and done, right? Now, let us go on to the other thing. LeBron wanted DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan was coming to the Lakers right there and then. Lakers only offering him 2-year contract. The man said, no, he can't do that. He wants more than a 2-year contract. He wants at least a 3-year contract. Lakers like, nah, we can't do that. Only 2-year contract. And these are facts, may I tell you. And I want me to think, I want me to know, right? So they never want to give the contract. Okay, so now DeMar DeRozan too went off to Chicago. So now went after DeMar DeRozan. No, you guys are telling me about Buddy Hield. Listen to me. I don't think Buddy Hield could do anything for this Laker team. I think LeBron wanted a player because he knew that both him and Anthony Davis would miss a bunch of games. So they wanted a player who they believe could fill up the stat sheets, have those minutes, and possibly get some wins. So I think that's why they went for Russell Westbrook. I don't think that Buddy Hield could have done that. So with all that being said, David, I want to know one. Do you still think that Frank Vogel is the man for the job? One. And two, would you say that the Lakers organization have failed LeBron James instead of the other way around?
No, I'm not going to say the organization failed LeBron James. That's number one. What
Even after all the facts I just gave you,
no.
even after all
I'm not
the
going to
facts,
say
you're going to come here and say no.
the organization failed LeBron James. I'm not going to say that. No, because the first thing is, what I would knock the organization for is that they made some decisions which were not in the best interest of basketball per se. Like, number one, the contract for DeMar DeRozan, he wanted 3 years. I heard that from day one. Like, give him that
Like,
contract.
why wouldn't you give a freaking man 3 years,
Give him that
bro?
contract. And then with the coaching, I'm going to get to Vogel. But a few years ago, right? A few years ago,
yes.
I was watching, and he said it the other day too. I was watching Isaiah Thomas. And Isaiah Thomas said, in this NBA camps, like 6 to 10 years down the line, probably in the next 10 to 15 years, you're going to see whereby Ty Lue may become the Bill Belichick of coaching.
Absolutely.
Wait, that's how highly rate, he rate Ty Lue. And he said yes, because he's such a great coach. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He'd be the Bill Belichick of coaching.
Yep.
We may not see the results yet, but later down, like after his career is done, you may see that. And he said it recently the other day. And I'm saying, all right, from that time, that was about 3 to 4 years ago. And if you had a chance to get him over Vogel, right? And the organization would have blown. And it's just a comment alone why I said, no, man, Lakers should have went with Vogel. You hear what I'm saying? But that is not to say they failed LeBron.
But Devin,
yeah.
But those two things kind of making the point for Kims. Those are failures of the organization.
No. What am I gonna say? They failed LeBron. Why would I say?
Devin, let me tell you why.
I understand why you not say them.
Devin, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why they failed LeBron. You want me to tell you why? LeBron is the superstar. If you don't want to say about the first,
and I know you wanted him, but I'm not going to say it's like a LeBron failed. I'm just going to say it's bad decision. I'm not going to say they failed LeBron.
Bad decision?
Yeah,
bro.
Why am I going to say they failed LeBron?
Because you have a short window with LeBron now, at him peak. So you want to construct a team around him, but
the best possible team,
right now.
But
so in that regard, the fact that the trade deadline came and went, and no moves were made to improve the team to try and
And then,
maximize
not
the
only
team.
that, Cream, Rob Pelinka came forward and lied. LeBron and Anthony Davis is okay with it. We spoke about it. We decided to stand pat. So not only did he do foolishness, he came forward and lied. Listen, this is a damn Devin. You have been supporting the Lakers longer than I have because I'm a bandwagon fan, right? You have been supporting the Lakers long before. But listen to me. This is a first-class organization. Don't tell me any blasting crap about any luxury tax or any kind of foolishness. You are the Lakers. Blasted, they get the job done. The blasted Clippers are better than you. When last they beat the Clippers? Don't tell me no foolishness for bad decision. Bad man. But hey,
Ken,
listen, Devin, a bad decision is when you wake up and you say, boy, I'm not gonna work today, and you miss a couple dollars. That's a damn bad decision. The Lakers organization have failed LeBron James worse than Cleveland failed LeBron. Worse.
I disagree with you.
We're not, that's kind of deep.
I disagree with you on a couple of things. One, I know that they hired Vogel, but I think Lakers really wanted Jason Kidd, and because of the issues that were around him, they had brought in Jason Kidd to take over from Vogel. Dallas come in and grab Jason Kidd and gone with him. So we know that as well.
Yeah, but they wanted Ty Lue first. That was the first priority.
And even though they didn't pay him, we know that they were trying to look more Jason Kidd direction than that, because they didn't want. So I will agree that they didn't pay him. Why I would not say that I wouldn't jump to say they failed LeBron. And even as I hear you, and you are very good at this, and you are very slick at this, even as I hear you try to slide all of these decisions away from LeBron, LeBron was in Miami, and because he didn't have control, he left. And Pat Riley is a man who run
No.
LeBron and Rich Paul wanted more control, and Pat Riley is...
No, Vincent, I cannot allow you to get away with that. Don't talk about because he didn't get control. That's the way you hear on TV. Let me tell you what happened. Dwayne Wade's body was breaking down right in front of our eyes.
Right.
Like we can't see that.
All right. But you see, what you just did is make the point where we say one of the things about LeBron that he loves is superstars. Hence, he went for Westbrook. Don't tell me that LeBron did not have an input into that Westbrook decision. He had.
Right.
I didn't
He had a major input. So this failure of the team.
No. Hold on, one second, James. So Devin and Vincent, I still trying to. I want to because based on what you're saying, it is sounding to me like the organization has failed him. What I want to understand. Hold on. What I want to understand is what would the organization have to do for you to consider them failing LeBron? I can understand that.
My take is this. I do believe that the organization has a part to play in where the Lakers are now, and I believe that LeBron James also has a part to play. If you want to call it 50-50, 70-30, 60-40, we can argue on that. But don't sit here and make it look like LeBron James does not have a part to play in what is happening.
All right,
because
Vincent,
he does.
Vincent,
that's all I'll say.
Vincent, let me ask you a question. All
right, go ahead.
Let me ask you a question, Vincent. If your son come to you, and your son said, Daddy, I want a car. Daddy, get me that car. If you don't get the car, can he get a car?
Yeah, he can work and get himself car. We are talking about him.
All right, look at this. So listen. LeBron James wanted Ty Lue. He went to them and he said, Ty Lue is my coach. I wanted Ty Lue. Rob Pelinka, Genie Boss, Kurt Rambis, all of them said, no, we're not going to give Ty Lue more than 2 years. That's all we have to offer. If he doesn't want it, then he could go. So again, they went against the grain for LeBron for that one. So if LeBron James come into your office and say, hey, I want Russell Westbrook, it is not set in stone. You don't have to get Russell Westbrook. You don't have to get him. You still have the decision to say no.
Okay.
But Kems, well, 1 second. You're playing if game here now, which is what you say you don't do. Because the if game is, if Tyronn Lue was here, the Lakers would not have been this bad. With AD missing all those games, with the organization, and as I said, they have a part to play, not taking my guy from Chicago and then end up with Westbrook. Of course, the organization have a part, but don't make it seem as if Tyronn Lue was here, that the Lakers would have been much better, and that's the only problem. That's an if game.
Guess what? Devin, give me 1 second there. Guess what we can do, Vincent? You have a thing where we can look and see what a coach has done with the same possible thing. So he went over to the Clippers. Right now, no Paul George, no Norman Powell, no Kawhi Leonard. And the Clippers right now are in the top 8. And
But
they're
the
playing.
Clippers, as a team, the Clippers players more committed to playing
And why do you
defense.
think so? You don't think that has anything to do with
Lakers
coaching at
don't
all?
have the personnel. They don't have the personnel.
Hold on. So you don't
Them
think
have
that has
some.
anything to do with coaching? None at all.
It does, and that's. I am not saying that the coach don't have
That's
anything
what
to
I'm
do with it.
saying.
No.
All
I
right,
am
let me
just
tell you
saying.
something, Vincent.
even
If Frank Vogel was the coach of the Clippers is probably 11th right now. If Frank Vogel was the coach of the Clippers. Like, it's a total different situation. The man can't coach, brother. I don't know why Devin loved the man. The man can't coach.
Yeah, but
Devin,
look,
go ahead.
Hold on.
You,
Devin, more on your Devin have to say. Devin.
no. Why would I negate the fact that, all right, LeBron James through Rich Paul and the organization, right, get what he wanted, sending away some young pieces from the Lakers, and they get AD. So they get what they want. They get what they want in that case. And with the coach, whatever the coach have, they won a championship. How am I going to say the organization fail that, man, when you give up all those pieces and you get AD? You
Okay.
force the hand to get AD.
because
you are correct, Devin.
No.
Why?
Correct what?
Why?
That's
What
absolute
is it?
garbage.
Feel it,
Correct
but
what?
What garbage? What
All right,
garbage?
let me tell you how it is garbage.
Right?
Let me tell you how. Can
You
I
got
tell
what
you
you
how it
wanted
is?
in that one. You just
Okay.
in the whole
All right.
coach.
So let me ask you a question,
coach.
Devin. Would the Lakers win a championship with no LeBron, no AD, Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram? Would the Lakers win a championship with that team? Yes, sir. I just want yes or no.
With whom?
The core that they had before. Lonzo Ball, Ingram, Kuzma. Would they win a championship that year?
No.
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 What are you thinking about?
Can I ask you? But Ken,
No.
Absolutely
So
not.
what does have to do with anything? They went
Hold
against
1
AD.
second, Ken.
I'm going to tell you.
Kems, can I ask you this question?
Yeah.
If AD had not gone down in the playoff last year, the Lakers was, I believe, #1 in defense and was playing well. Would they have made it to the finals and would they have won that championship?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
But it's the same if game you're playing about when you name they being there. The coach, you see, that's what I'm saying,
No,
you can't play if game
Vincent.
because remember the Lakers, 1 second. Suns went to the finals last year. And when AD was fit and there, they would have beaten that Suns team.
I mean, I can't say that for sure. I can't say that for sure. But what? Listen, Vincent. Listen, Vincent. Again, when I'm looking at a coach, Vincent, I'm looking at the totality. All right, I want a coach who is a leader of men. Is Frank Vogel a leader of men? Absolutely not. I want a coach who is adaptable. Is Frank Vogel adaptable? Absolutely not. I want a coach who knows the X's and O's of basketball. Is Frank Vogel that? Absolutely not. Right? So you can tell me he's a defensive stalwart and so Lakers this season have given up the most. Lakers have given up 20-point lead, 30-point lead, 40-point lead. Behind a big defensive coach.
Personnel, Kings. You can't blame that on Vogel entirely. It's the personnel. A lot of it has to do with personnel.
I will come to Vogel defense when it comes to defense. The personnel that's there now is not a defensive personnel. What do you want to do with that?
And Cream, to back your point, not to cut you, Lakers.
Hold on again. The team that was one that had the defensive pieces. They basically got that squad. They got that squad and bring in the all man now.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm going.
I
love on the talk. I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show 1 second again. I'm going to show you how stupid Frank Vogel is. Right? Absolutely stupid. In the Clippers game, the man have LeBron at the 5 against Zubac. And it was absolutely barbecue chicken out there. The man have Dwight Howard on the bench, you know. The man would have never bring in Dwight Howard. The man have LeBron out there, God Zubat, and it's barbecue chicken every time. But guess what? He's not even smart enough to say, okay, let me bring in Dwight Howard. You know what the man do? The man start double Zubac. And when the man double Zubac, guess what happened? Them just kick out the ball, and the Clippers were 8 of 9 from threes. And that made the lead spread out. So, you know, so now you tell me now. And again, You can tell me personal all you want, but I've watched this coach done stupid things after stupid things to cost the team the game. So yes, the
Kems,
personal is all and so. But if you as a coach can understand, say, all right, Vincent, if you know you have certain limited skills in a particular area, what you gonna do?
Tell him,
You're gonna
Gary.
try to focus on your strength. Vogel are double down on the weakness. You
Let me
don't
hear
want a
Gary.
coach like
Kems,
that.
All right,
Right
Let me
now,
hear
Kems.
I
Gary.
want.
I'm not
Let me hear Gary.
absolving. Well, no. Kems, remember, all right. I don't know. I don't think a lot of persons know this. The Lakers have the second most lineup changes in the league behind the Brooklyn Nets. Vogel is not that the man is not trying anything. It's just the personnel that he has to work with. The Lakers have mostly 28 or 30 different second behind the Brooklyn Nets. And we know the Brooklyn Nets story with the injuries and all of that. So it's not like he's not absolutely doing anything, but he's just in over his head based on the
No, yeah,
lineup.
because
I'm not saying that he didn't make.
he is
I
a
didn't.
C
I'm
minus.
not
He's
saying
a
that he
C.
doesn't make
Listen, Gary,
stupid
he is a
mistake, but
C minus. Hold on, Gary. He is a C minus coach trying to do A plus things. No, stay in your lane, right? Wally. Let me get you in right here, Wally, because I want you to listen to this. So against the same Clippers team, the Lakers went on I think a 14-0 run to end the second quarter, right? So the game was 66-63 at halftime. This is what Frank Vogel do know. Oh, all right. Remember, now it's time, a halftime, not a timeout, halftime. So everybody get for rest, come back together with a fresh mindset. Frank Vogel said, okay, we're going to start the same team that went on the run. The same team that went on the run was Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Austin Reeves, Malik Monk. That's the lineup when we going to start out there against Zubac and them big people there, right? When Clippers went on a 10-0 run, Lakers made absolutely no change. Clippers went on a 17-2 run. The same big Frank Vogel coach, no change. Oh, guys, we're going to, can you know the little mic on them have? Guys, we're going to stick through it, guys. We're going to get through it. Then it end up, when it's finally a 24-2 run, that is when the change starts happening. Like, Wally, tell me now, what kind of coach you want coach your franchise them kind of foolishness, brother? Like, this is not the Bobcats. This is not the Pelicans. This is the damn Lakers, brother. There is no way. This is Phil Jackson. There is no way in a blasted Frank Vogel for you come coach this side, brother. Bring us some brand name. This is the damn Lakers, brother. The Clippers are better than the Lakers. That's absolutely unfathomable, bro. So they be not come tell me, bro, like, you can't believe you should be ashamed of yourself as a Lakers fan.
Hold
Should
on.
be blasted shame of yourself,
You're stressing the point of the coach. Hold on. You're stressing the point of the coach. Brand name coach. So, and you'll get Trevor Ariza, you'll get Dwight Howard, you get all of these old players. So, we don't need brand name players as well. Huh? You go to all these old man.
We have two.
Lakers. This is Lakers. We need good players. Why not?
We have two brand name players.
You got
Anthony Davis.
40-year-old. I'm Trevor Ariza. Nearly 40-year-old Dwight. All of them old players who passed their prime.
Golden Age home, the man them assembled. Remember the memes at the start of the season. Everybody knows.
Why you not stressing that we don't have the right players?
LeBron said
we don't have the right players. Why you not stressing that?
Listen, I believe that if LeBron James and AD was healthy, I think the Lakers would have fight the bad coaching of Frank Vogel and be in a decent position. But that guy needs to go.
We have seen games with ADLT and you
the
see
soft tissue where you usually cuss.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are you
saying, James? What are you saying?
The people that talk like Eddie is this.
All right, guys. So we're gonna move on.
All time.
We're gonna move. We're gonna move on. We want to talk about the Warriors. And I'll start with the Warriors. The Warriors.
Why you need to talk about? Why you need to talk about the Warriors?
Vinny's area of expertise.
The Warriors.
I got asked also mute him.
of their last 9 games, the Warriors have only won 2. The last game that they played against, who they played against? Cream the last game.
They played against
Minnesota, right? No,
man.
We lose again.
Thursday. Dallas they played. I think that was
last game against Dallas. Steph Curry attempted 0 field goals in the fourth quarter. 0. I notice I don't hear any MVP champs because Steph Curry again that I was hearing in November and December. As soon as it touched January, field time come, cold season, so him just get cold all of a sudden. So Vincent, do you think your Warriors is still a championship team, and can that team win something with Steph Curry as the leader?
Um, I have I have been watching the NBA for quite some time now, and I've seen teams even this late in the season turn it around. I remember the Rockets team that went into the playoff number 6, having won the championship the year before, and still came out and win the championship. So yes, sir, I do believe that there is still sufficient time. The quarterback of the defense is not there. The defense has been playing real bad. I mean, we have been giving up over, I think, about 114 points per game, coming from 102. So they have gotten real bad. We started seeing some issues in the team as Clay begin to come back and they're trying to break him into the team. From then we started seeing some little issues they're trying to bring Clay in. So they are a work in progress, and yes, they have
Hold
not
on,
been
Vinny.
playing
Hold
good.
on, Vinny. Hold
Mm-hmm.
on, Vinny. I don't want to come
Mm-hmm.
blame it on Clay because I'm not trying to
No,
get Clay. The team
no,
has
man,
been
no, no,
piss
no, no,
poor.
no,
Let's
no,
hold
no,
on, man.
no,
Hold
man,
on, hold
no,
on,
man. I'm
hold
not
on.
blaming.
Hold
No,
on.
no, no, Levon, no, Levon. I am
Listen,
not
listen to
blaming
me,
Clay.
Vinny. Listen.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I'm a Warriors fan, and to be honest, they have
mm-hmm.
been piss poor. There's no way you can be leading Mavs
Yeah,
by
man,
so much points and yet
and
still
lose.
allow them to come
No,
back.
but
True.
So
and I
what I'm
am
saying, what I'm
saying.
saying is, what I'm
Mm-hmm,
saying, is that
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
the issue for Warriors is that too much players are going off form all at once.
Too
It's
much
like
players are
everybody's out
doing
of
what?
sorts. See, remember that earlier this season, everybody
Mm-hmm,
was dropping 3 pointers and all of that. We heard about Jordan
mm-hmm,
Poole and Joe Wiggins
mm-hmm,
and all these guys. Now
mm-hmm.
look at their percentage from 3 goal margin and look at it right now and see how poor they have been. And to be honest,
And they have
you see, Curry has been off ever since he was chasing
that
that
record.
record for three
Now
points.
you
So
mean
from
since he
then,
has
he has
gotten.
been
Mm-hmm.
totally off.
And I
Tony,
agree
Tony.
with you. And listen to me, I am not blaming Clay, and I'm just looking at the team and how the team has been performing. And like I said to you before, they have been playing poor. I mean, that guy. There is one guy that I'm watching him, and I'm saying that guy look like him going to be good in this league, and that is Kuminga. You can see some players, look like it's a very good pick that they have. But yes, the team has been playing poor. Do I believe that them can get it together? I do believe, and I still going to have faith in them. I still going to have faith in them. I do believe they're going to get it together, and I do believe they're going to make some noise in the playoff. That's my belief in the Golden State.
You co-sign that as well.
Mute.
Wally, do you agree, disagree? I hear a lot of sensationalism, so I'll wait before I attack it. I just want to give you an opportunity to say what you have to say about the Warriors.
I remember when I was on the podcast in November, and this would have been after Phoenix won 14 straight games, right? All of that under the radar, right? I said I cannot believe how CP3 is not being considered for the MVP. Everybody talk about CP3 days done, him no good. And my sentiments is coming from a place as a Warriors hater, right?
Nobody said he wasn't good though.
I
Wally.
remember the question you asked vividly. Your question was, is the Golden State Warriors a lock for the championship? Distinctly. And I said no. I have the Suns over them.
Yep.
I have Denver over them. And all the Warriors jump up. Oh, you're such a hater.
Yep.
Golden
That's
State,
how they are. That's how
Golden
they
State,
are.
Golden State definitely. As a matter of fact, they're looking almost like the 73 win team. All of this sensation, and look where we are now. Look where we are now. And when it comes down to the crunch, they after Steph Curry, as Levon said, after Steph Curry got that record, his play has fallen off precipitously. I don't know if him just say, boy, all right, I get the record, so no, I can just relax. But his play has fallen off precipitously, right? You see that lack of cohesion with Clay being integrated into the game. You don't see that the motion offense running as smooth as it once was. I seeing Curry handling the ball a little bit more than he normally does. I don't know if it's his way of trying to get himself back into the game, but we all know that Draymond Green is the quarterback of that offense. So now with Curry handling the ball more, again, that is another area where the team is kind of going out of sync. But
Wally,
I want,
Wally,
but before
Wally,
you talk,
hold on,
Kems, wait.
Vincent. Hold on, Vincent.
Mhm.
Wally, respond to this comment. Because Chris Lynch been in this comment talking a bunch of crap, right? So Chris Lynch is saying the season is not done yet, though.
True.
You see, this is the thing this is the thing that I
All
can't
right,
take away.
Kems, can I just respond to Wally? And I want to respond to Wally like this because I believe sometimes you gentlemen are dishonest in terms of how you go about and looking at some stuff, and it shows our biases sometimes. And I'll put even me in it because I guess sometimes I do the same thing. When Phoenix and Golden State was playing well, Golden State beat Phoenix 2 times out of 3.
Without Devin Booker, let us
one game Devin Booker was there when they beat him. One game he was not there.
Yeah.
Right?
Listen.
Hold on a second, Kems.
Hold on.
One sec, Kems. Wally even just said a while ago that the quarterback and the man who, when you look at what Draymond Green's mean to Golden State, we cannot, it doesn't show up in the box score, but when you watch basketball, you cannot underestimate the great impact it means for them and their offense, even though he doesn't score, and especially on their defense. Their defense is giving up from 102 to 114 points. He has missed almost 15 going 20 games now. So, gentlemen, let's not make it seem as if this is the same Golden State that is playing now.
I'm going to ask you a question, Mr. Vincent, because again, as I said before, you're a little guy where you're a little bit shaky. Right? You're a little bit shaky. You're a little bit shaky. And as Wally would have said, you guys are very dishonest. You Warriors fans. Do you need Draymond Green to beat the Knicks?
If we need Draymond Green to beat the Knicks?
Yeah. Is Draymond Green a guy where you say, I need him to beat the Knicks? Yes or no?
Right now,
right now I don't want explanation. No, I don't want explanation right now, boss.
Yes.
So you need Draymond to beat the Knicks?
Yeah, yes.
All right.
Yeah. So Kems, you can't look on that good team lose to bad teams all over the
But Cream, it is not just that enough. Remember that the Golden State Warriors team is a small team. Draymond Green play even 5, even though he's small, but he's so tenacious in his defense, and what he does that he will even play 5 and play the 4. Remove Draymond Green out there. Tell me who else is leaving now.
All right, so let me ask you another question, Vincent, because I told you I don't want any explanations from you, right? I just want
you
you
can't.
When you get a chance to talk, then you can explain. So let me ask you a question. Being up 19 with 10 minutes to go, and the Dallas Mavericks went on a 26-1 run. All right. If Draymond Green was there, that would have happened.
I blame Steph Curry.
Okay, so Draymond now not to do with that one. All right.
So I blame Steph Curry.
All right.
What about coaching?
And coaching too.
How about on the beautiful Valentine's Day, losing by 15 points to the Los Angeles Clippers? No Kawhi Leonard, no Paul George, no Norman Powell at that time, no Robert Covington. What about that? Do you need Draymond Green to beat the Clippers? I just want yes or no.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You can't done now.
Hold on.
Yeah.
No, I have one more.
Yeah.
The Utah Jazz. You guys lost 111 to 85. Right? No Rudy Gobert, so there was no big guy in the game. You guys lost that
Yeah,
game
man, they,
again.
they have another big in the game. That guy that was at Miami, what's his name again? That's very good, especially when him
Hassan
rebound.
Hassan
Whiteside.
Whiteside.
Outside, well, yeah, man, yeah. So we need Draymond. Yeah.
Vinny, why you making fun of boy yo?
No,
Yeah.
but
Stop
no,
making him take it up.
no,
Listen,
but
Vinny, can't
no, but
reason
what I'm saying,
subjectively.
that is me know that. I know that. You understand? So I have no problem telling him yes. You
Well,
understand?
all I'm going to
Because
say,
he's
Vinny, against the Jazz, where you lost by 30 something, Steph Curry only had 16 points. You know, I'm just saying that. I'm
and
just saying that.
I will say this and leave it. At the end of the season, if Golden State drops out in the first round, then you will have all the talk, and I will only be silent.
All right.
All right.
This on file.
All right. With that being said, let us move on. Let me start with you, Cream. I want to talk about the Pelicans, right? Because even though the Jazz beat up the Warriors, the Pelicans whop up the Jazz, right? I think they beat them by about 40 at last night, right? I know since that CJ McCollum trade, they have actually been playing some really good basketball. And
True.
I'm hearing that Zion is now cleared for basketball activities. All of a sudden, JJ Redick call him out and him foot heal real quick. You know, I don't know what's happening, but it healed real quick. So Cream, it looked like the Pelicans are going to make the play-in.
Yep.
Is there a chance that they could actually make the playoffs?
Depending on how they are playing, yes, they can, because depending on the matchups, worse if they get paired with the Lakers. If they finish in a slot where they end up playing the Lakers,
True. Beat down.
barbecue chicken.
Barbecue chicken wings.
And who knows? Maybe Zion will be ready by then. Maybe, but definitely, man. It all depends on the positions. Them versus Clippers. I think probably Clippers would get the better of them. I think Clippers would, but a matchup with the Lakers, barbecue chicken, man.
Barbecue chicken. All right, Wally. Go ahead.
I actually think it might sound a little bit controversial. I actually think the inclusion of Zion might actually hinder their chances of making the play-in. I just don't think Zion's head is in the place where he want to play no basketball. He has no, you don't see him putting in any work to get his weight down. No interest. If JJ Redick never call him out, I don't know how all of a sudden after JJ Redick made his comments, he's suddenly available. Him head just to me, him headspace not there, and the cohesion that I'm seeing now, I think with them now trying to infuse him into that offense, especially now the fact that he would have lost some explosiveness. So most of his game is going to be around the basket. I actually see him being an inhibitor to what is going on now with the Pelicans, honestly.
All right. Devin.
Yo.
They're talking about your Lakers right now. They're dogging your Lakers, and they're saying the Pelicans are licking their chops to face the Lakers because they know that's already a W, and they have to worry about between the Timberwolves and the Clippers. So, have you been impressed with this Pelicans team, or you just think they're just riding the new player bounce?
I like them because Brandon Ingram, I think he was number 7 in pick, right? And he was doing relatively good at Lakers. Left Lakers doing good at Pelicans. CJ has been a sniper. He's been a scorer all along. So that's Brandon Ingram and CJ, that's buckets. Whichever way you want it, that's buckets. All right. I kind of disagree with Wally in the sense with Zion coming in. He's not a guy who, is like he's gonna throw up those 2 games that much. You just have to feed him inside that much. Like you say, he's not that explosiveness. You don't necessarily have to show it. It's just between the guards there to throw the ball, feed him, give him some points. And he's not gonna play long minutes. Let him rest, and they will go back to their normal game. Now, About the point that is getting me upset now, y'all think, oh, barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken for what? Barbecue chicken for which? Lakers. 9 and 10. 9 and 10 as it is now is Lakers and Pelicans. I remember the loser going to them yard, going to Cancun for vacation. And they may go to Montego Bay for vacation. I don't know. It's not guaranteed that Pelicans gonna beat Lakers. It's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that they're gonna beat them. It's not guaranteed. We still have LeBron James. Still have LeBron James, and I don't care whosoever is there. LeBron said that unless he's 6 feet under, he's dead and dusted. That's when you count him out. So don't count him out as yet. All right. So I don't know about that barbecue chicken. Everybody jumping barbecue. What
But
barbecue?
I just said LeBron just keep on talking about how old my squad is and this player and that player and we won't gel and XYZ and them and they're playing right now.
Let us not forget that the Lakers were in the play-in last year as well. Okay, let us not.
So
LeBron chat too
Just a
much. I'm gonna
reminder.
need
Let
to
us
watch
not
and
Devin, calm down. Relax.
no, I'm taking.
let us not forget. All right, Gary. So I want to ask you a question. Can
Mhm.
we? Is it too early to say that C.J. McCollum and Brandon Ingram is actually a little bit better than C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard?
Um,
Is it too early?
it is.
Or
It is too. I think it is too early because they have played. They're on a roll now. I know they have played what 10 games together so far, or just about there about.
there
They
about
have been on a roll. The offense has looked much better. We know what CJ and them, you know, was in Portland. It was the Baby Splash Brothers. I think they were coined. Remember at one point they went to the Western Conference Finals where they shrunk, came up small, but they have they Dame and CJ has been a nice tandem in a small market um team or a small market franchise for a number of years. CJ and Brandon is a nice tandem, but I think it's a little bit too early. We know what CJ represents. He shoots the ball well. Brandon Ingram playing the four on the outside. He's a nice can hit down the open shots. He can post up as well. But I think it is a bit too early
okay,
to
and
really give them any.
next question as I think I want to transition. Wallace said that he thinks that Zion is going to be a little bit a hindrance.
Mhm.
Zion was the number one pick. A lot of persons are comparing him to Greg Oden, saying that because remember Greg
Mhm.
Oden was the number one pick over KD, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
Zion is the number one pick over
Over
Jamorant.
Joe.
So,
Yeah.
is it possible that we could see a repeat of Zion being a Greg Oden?
It is leaning. I am questioning his commitment to his work ethic is my question. I have a big question in terms of his work ethic and his commitment to work on himself, right? It is a little bit too early. I would give it some more time because over the last season he's missed so many games, a lot of games. We know he has a weight problem. He doesn't, he doesn't do a good job of keeping his weight under control, his fitness, his diet, that kind of stuff. And his game is predicated on athleticism. With a big man like that, about 320 pounds there, about the last time I think I think he's about 6'6", 6'7" there about. With that kind of weight, he drives to the basket. He dunks a lot for a man that size. He depends on a lot of athleticism and explosion. So carrying that weight on those knees and legs is really really plays a big factor into him being injured a lot. So it is not far fetched to say that he will be the next Greg Oden, but I think we need to look on give him another season or two to see what will happen. And I don't think he needs to get the right people around him. I'm not sure his support team what they are telling him, who is working with him, but outside of his weight, I think his mental space is very, very important. I don't think he has the right attitude towards, working on himself, developing his game, losing weight and that kind of stuff. But we see what he was at Duke. We saw him in the early his rookie year before he went down. All I am saying is that I think we need to give it another year or two to see what transitions from here.
All right, let me tell you something really quick before I move on to the next topic, right? So Lakers were leading 32-25 after the first quarter against the Warriors, right?
Yeah,
The
man.
second quarter, the Warriors now 22 points, the Lakers 8 points.
8 points.
Barbecue chicken.
You go to like Jordan Poole again. Lakers come with this double foolishness, and Jordan Poole is 4 for 4 from 3. I'm telling you, I'm done with that little fool coach.
I know. I think the other day, guys, and people are saying playing tournament for the Lakers. It is not far fetched, and I would bet some money if I was a gambling. They don't even make the play. I wouldn't be surprised.
Remember when Kems asked us to pick, and I left the Lakers out of my team. You all were laughing.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. And they probably won't make the play. The chase now by.
All right. Lakers is not my team, but LeBron is my player. Let's
You're a wagonist, man. You admit it. We know that.
Let us cut the foolishness about they're not making the plane. They're easily in the plane.
Like, I remember mark this date, man. We catch it. We catch up back on it in a few weeks.
All right, Cream.
Yes,
my
sir.
next question to you is something that has been surfacing around the internet.
Yep.
Trae Young, Ja Morant, Luka Doncic. You are the GM. Your team has been losing. You have the top pick. You need a player to build a franchise around. However, you have the benefit of a little bit in the future where you see what they have done. Right? I know you go back and you say, okay, I have to pick one of these players to start my franchise with. Who would you start it with and why? I would throw Zion in there, but that guy eat too much, so I'll keep him out of it.
No, I can't put Zion
in. For me, it would have to be Luka.
All right, and why?
Baby Bird.
Baby Bird. Luka has I call it now a style where he impacts the games in different ways. So I like that about a player where tick other boxes. So in way Luka is able to lead the offense, to put up the points, but he can also get his teammates involved. He can facilitate well and distribute well. So I like those intangibles that Luka brings to his game as well. So for me, Muda definitely have to go with Luka. Rebounds.
Does anyone disagrees and would pick somebody else?
Absolutely not, sir.
All right. So let me ask you a question, Wally West, since you are going with Luka. And before I even mention it, I would like to apologize to Demo and other Ja Morant fans for my blatant disrespect.
Somebody record this. I want to show record this. We need lie.
This man has shocked me up totally. This man has been an absolute baller. And no matter
it's
how
a
much,
big man to apologize, boss. Respect.
Trust me, we're proud. I have to give him a hand. Because we never dreamed this. Guys, let us clap in the car. Couldn't believe.
Hey, the more me hate the man, the more the man perform. He's like the man that watch me. And every time I say something, the man go out there and do something spectacular. So, I want to go ahead and apologize for that. But, Wally, can't an argument be made that, hey, we don't want to build a team around Luka Doncic, but I am currently Ja Morant. I am the number 3 team in the West, and I'm about to go to number 2. And I'm undersized a bit, but I'm bringing my team while Luka is all the way down in 5th with the Dallas Mavericks. Can an argument be made for Ja Morant in that respect?
Not really, because you're looking at building your franchise. You're looking at building your franchise. The question isn't who is hot, no. You're saying, okay, let's play the role of a GM and we're building a franchise. Luka has the most fundamentally sound game of all of those players. It isn't even close. And I'm very happy for Morant now, but my concern is he reminds me of Russell Westbrook, not in terms of Russell Westbrook and Blake Griffin and Amari Stoudemire, because
D Rose as well.
a
Derrick
lot of
Rose.
their game, a lot of not in terms of the decision making where Russell Westbrook is concerned, but a lot of his game is predicated on his explosiveness, right? His mid-range game is almost non-existent. You see what his record is. They did a comparison the other day. His percentage from three is comparable to Russell Westbrook. So what you see with these sort of players is that if they once their explosiveness declines because they don't have that fundamentally sound base, then the game just peters off. With Luka Doncic, because his game is so fundamentally sound. He's not the most athletic player, but you can see him still beating players. Why? Because when they do the replay and you see his footwork is impeccable. He's able to create space because of his impeccable and fundamentally sound footwork. His shooting mechanism, he can hit you from three, come right in. His ability to pass, his ability to not just make the sports center easy pass, but actually make passes where your favorite quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, he would pass players open. So he's making the pass and the players are running onto the ball and receiving it and making the basket, as opposed to just making passes to wide open players. So which is very, for me, Jason Kidd-esque. He's seeing the play develop as he's coming down the court. So you don't see him massaging the ball for the entirety, for most of the shot clock, and then trying to make a move. What
All
he
right.
does, he's
So let me
doing.
ask a question, Wally, because you've said some very fundamental things also with Cream, but I mean, we're in a results business, right? And the last two times, Luca has gone down in the first round, right? Gone down in the first round, and you can give me whatever excuse you want to give me.
Not an excuse.
As well,
No,
listen,
yeah, hear him.
listen,
I
An
wonder,
excuse. An
not
listen,
an
excuse.
excuse.
Reasons.
listen. You are up
Legitimate
3-2 in a
reasons.
series twice. You are the star. You have to get it done. Don't give me no excuses. Find a way. Get it. LeBron James play 48 minutes when he has to. You don't need any rest. You're young, you're fresh. Get it done. No excuses. So I'm just saying, let us pump. I like Luka a lot. But let us pump the brakes a little bit before we give him some roses he doesn't deserve. Remember, Luka Doncic is the same player that came into this season bigger and fat and wagga wagga.
And he worked on it, worked into
I'm sure
shape.
Wally didn't appreciate that physique, right? Came in the league fat and wagga wagga, no abs, one big belly, and he got no all-star starter votes. He got mad and decided to work out. So come on, this is a guy that is probably Zion-esque. And so let us just be careful about it. All right, but let me move on to
He's so
another topic
extreme.
because
It's very extreme. We're not even going to say with Kim.
we're right on schedule. Mr. David, on today, March 5th, I have apologized and I'll give you an opportunity to come forward and say, I'm from the New York area. I was a little bit bamboozled. I was stuck in my New York jeans.
Don't do it.
I was lying. Philly won the trade. I said Brooklyn win the trade. I was lying. Philly won the trade. David, the floor is yours. Come forward and let the people know that you were just lying and joking around, please.
Why? Why would I do that?
Thank you.
Say you still
Well,
think. So hold on. Say you still think Brooklyn win the trade.
It can't be fully assessed until the season is done, brother.
Thank you.
All right. So, David,
It
are
can't
you
be fully
okay?
assessed until no matter what go on,
Ben
So we
Simmons
could go
hasn't
on a
played as
we
yet
could go on
either.
a 7-0.
Until we see you see it,
Brooklyn go on
until we
a
see
one
it
and
And Ben
execute.
Simmons hasn't
Brooklyn
played, so
Exactly,
Brooklyn could go on the
exactly.
next 6-0 run. We still can't say until they finish.
All right. Are you aware? Are you aware, Mr. Devin, that
Yeah.
if in the plane, if it's between Toronto and Brooklyn, are you aware that Kyrie Irving will miss
I
all of that
I
series?
I know. I know about that. I
All
know
right.
about that. So but like as it is right now, right?
Yes.
We in eighth position.
Okay. Who is
Back
in
at five.
seventh?
Toronto. Yeah. And
Hey.
Toronto is like 2.5 to 3 games above us, I think. I'm not sure, but I know they're 8. Toronto, like
Yeah, it's
I'm not
close.
sure what
It's
Toronto record,
close.
but I know we're back at 5. We're at 500, 32 and 32. Right?
Yep.
And like, the concern is if it's those two gonna meet, which
Which
it's
is
not
very
those,
likely.
yeah, which it will not be because we're gonna jump over Cleveland. We're gonna jump over Cleveland for that 6th spot. Or whosoever
Bro.
in that 6th spot. We're gonna go on a run soon.
When?
when is that run?
When is
I
that
don't
run?
like to know.
Even if we don't go on that
Soon,
run,
soon.
Kems,
20
worst case
games left
scenario
there,
then.
so start the run before.
Worst case scenario. Cause remember my thing, is Kyrie has to be there, even for the away. All right, Toronto knock us down back to play with the next team. The other team not gonna beat us, right? So we may finish 8th. Finish 8th. We're still gonna have Kyrie available. And listen, it's not
So
over
so
until
how
we
is
can
it?
see the
First
season.
round exit if you
So
finish it.
so let's
First
so
round, and
so
then
there's
Would have
going to
been
if
be
we
if
beat
y'all
Miami
finish
in the first round, remember me don't tell you how that go
no
go.
goodly
no
be a
listen
first
Devin.
round exit still, so
Devin,
No,
Devin,
yeah,
listen. Devin,
yeah,
mm.
yeah.
listen. If you guys finish 8th, I think the universe will set it up that Philly finishes first. So you're not going to have Kyrie for home games, and you won't have Ben Simmons for away games because he doesn't want to play in Philly. He's terrified of Philly. Right now, they say that the March 10 situation, they're going to hold him out
Him
because they
not
don't
gonna
want
play.
to bring him back in Philadelphia. Wally, you can tell me something about this, Wally. If you are a competitor, if this team was so bad to you, wouldn't you be hyped up? Oh, I got to show them what they're missing. Or they trade me, or they call me out during the playoffs. I got to show them what I'm made out of. Wally, wouldn't the competitive spirit in you do something like that?
Of course, but we already know that Ben Simmons doesn't have that competitive spirit. It's he doesn't have the mental fortitude. He's mentally weak, and we know that Philly is a tough crowd. Plus, the whole thing of MB calling himself all of that. So we know that mentally he's not a strong person. So it's not a surprise to me that they're trying to keep him from actually facing the music where Philly is concerned, because him just can't manage it, plain and straight. I
All
will
right,
agree.
so
I
I'm
will
sorry,
agree
go
with
ahead.
yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
will agree with Devin though that it's too early to say who won the trade, because we if you look at James Harden's track record, this is his MO. So him got a new team, show out for a couple games,
Mhm.
um, then him fade out, lose interest, put on the fat suit, then them trade him. Go to the next team, take out the fat suit, play some good game, lose interest, then put on back the fat suit. So really, I am in agreement with Devin, and I think ultimately, although it's too early, I think ultimately, Brooklyn will win the trade because they won't need Ben Simmons to be the closer. They already have Kyrie and KD, so his apprehensiveness in the clutch will not be a factor because you have KD and Kyrie to take
Okay,
care of.
okay, boss. I hear you and I'm listening. But let me go to the man who he supports the Philadelphia Eagles in NFL. He supports the Toronto Raptors when they're doing well, and now he supports the Brooklyn Nets as well because of KD, right? So Cream, so you tell me,
I always support Raptors for the record. Okay.
Okay. So the Raptors and Brooklyn in a series. Who you got?
OT.
Yeah, that's a good question,
Who
Ken.
you got? The
Remember
winner?
James
Whoever
Harden not there no more.
whoever wins.
Yeah, man.
So
Team
in all
OT.
seriousness, Cream.
Yeah.
You saw KD first game back
Yep.
against the Miami Heat, right?
Yep.
There was no Jimmy Butler, no Kyle Lowry, no PJ Tucker, and they still got what? Seth Curry was poor.
Mm-hmm.
I think he shot 3 for 10. Dragic was poor. He shot 4 for 10. Andre
Drummond.
Drummond only
Drummond. Yeah.
played 19 minutes.
Yep.
KD ball hog as usual, so he shoot all the shots. I don't know if he's trying to catch Kareem or anything, but
Yeah.
I don't know if he's trying to catch. Is he? You guys tell me. I don't know where KD is on the scoring chart. Probably he's trying to
Statistics.
catch Magic or somebody.
Of
But
the questions.
with that being said, Cream, after that game, are you any more? Are you even a little bit concerned about your Brooklyn?
Um, there is some concern with things outside of basketball per se, like the mandate and what's really going on with in regards to Simmons. When are we gonna get him back on the court and XYZ? And the amount of games left, will it be enough to build chemistry and all those stuff? But I feel we have the talent to overcome the chemistry issue.
Hold on, Cream. So you're saying that you have the talent, but
Yeah,
do you have the talent match up against the the heavy hitters, against the Philadelphia 76ers, against the
absolutely,
Milwaukee Bucks, against the Miami
absolutely.
Heat? You believe you have the heavy hitters without chemistry to get the job done?
I think so. I believe so. I believe the talent level where we have in a Kyrie Irving and
Wow.
in a Kevin Durant. I think
Wow.
it. I
Even a
think.
part-time Kyrie?
But definitely.
Wow.
Uh
Wow. Because they said that
Yes.
they're not changing the mandate for any one person, because it's not Kyrie alone it affect. It affect those health workers, it affect those bus drivers. So those persons, you're not vaccinated, so you can't do any business in New York or Barclays or wherever it is. So don't make it look like it's Kyrie alone, but they say they're not lifting the mandate for Kyrie only, so you'll play away games. And with that being said, you are confident that KD and a bunch of chips. KD has only won rings with super teams. Let us remember that. No Steph Curry, no ring.
Remind them, please.
No
Remind
Clay
them.
Thompson, no ring. No Draymond Green, no ring. Right? He had Russell Westbrook, no ring. He had Kyrie Irving, no ring. He had
I think
James
we.
Harden, no ring. I'm just letting y'all know what's going on. But
Yeah.
we
With all,
will.
with all
Huh?
that being said, I think we have enough to navigate the home games if Kyrie still can play. Because we
Cream,
lost.
cream, cream,
Huh?
cream. I know it's a team and you're trying to be loyal. Let me get in Mr. Grandpa loyal as well. Gramps, because you tell us that you were adamant. Brooklyn won the trade. Brooklyn won the trade for me. Because you are from the older generation and you don't like how these young guys are very
Long,
tough and all that kind of stuff. Have you seen anything, Vincent, that make you say, boy, man, I think I'm on the fence right now. I can't really. Have you seen that? Because remember, every time Brooklyn, even with James Harden and them, anytime Brooklyn run up in a good team before this trade, they got their butt waxed. Every time they come up against a 500 team, before this trade, it was whop 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 whop, right?
because Harden didn't turn up because he
Well,
wanted to
wasn't he
leave.
averaging? Wasn't
Because
he
he wanted to
averaging
leave
20 and
20,
10?
against the poor teams.
22 and 10.
Every
No,
500, every
no,
500
but
team and above that we played, we got the subpar Harden.
well, fat suit. But Vincent, are you still confident in Brooklyn winning the trade?
Um, even as an answer, you know what I just realized, Kims?
What's that?
If Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili was still in the league, you would not have liked them. But that's okay. But anyway,
Who
based
wouldn't
on the
like them?
question, you wouldn't have. But based on the
What?
question you
What? Why
asked,
you think so?
you don't like anybody that beat LeBron James. But anyway, let me,
That's a
let
shot.
me move.
Vinny, okay. It's a shot again, man. Okay.
But anyway, I still believe Nets as won that trade. One of my thing, as you know, with Harden is not. I see him playing now, and I see him playing some good games. My thing with Harden is that they when it comes to playoff, I have to wait until I see what he will do in this playoff. But Harden has always failed in the playoff, as far as I am concerned. So but I am not, even though I believe Nets has won the trade, I don't see Nets making the NBA finals. For me, chemistry is a big thing in team sport, and I don't believe that they have enough game and enough time to get the chemistry of that team going, especially with Kyrie in and out. If they do it, I will be surprised. Hats off to them. But I don't see them reaching the NBA final.
Okay. All right. And for our last topic, I'll start with you, Mr. Geary, because you tell me that you like this team. I don't know if you're just jumping on the wagon, but can we now say that the Chicago Bulls are actually showing their true colors? I notice I don't hear anymore. DeMar DeRozan for MVP. You know, people start locking on him the real way right now, and no more 35 points with over 50% shooting and all those lovely numbers. They have now lost four straight games. They're dwindling down the standings in the East.
Mhm.
They lose to Trey Young, lose to Giannis, lose to the Miami Heat, and they just keep losing. So, Gary, are we
Mhm.
now to just believe that, we spoke about Chicago and where we think their ceiling is, but
Mhm.
right now I think, the East is so close they might be in the plane. What do you have to say about the Chicago Bulls?
All right, the Chicago Bulls. All right, guys, we need to just to keep things into perspective. A lot of people before the season even started, think the Chicago Bulls are basically overachieving. We when we talk about where they are now, persons wouldn't even believe that they would be like in the first place about 4 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Nobody expected this from DeMar DeRozan. We all know his career in Toronto and what happened. Going on that tier of breaking a Will Chamberlain record of 35 plus points in with over 50% shooting in about 8 games. That was unheard of. So I expected him to come back down to the mean when they start locking him down, start focusing on him more and so forth. But the Chicago Bulls, we have teams that are regular season teams. I like the team a lot because I was a Jordan fan coming from in the 90s coming up. I like this team, supported them with Derrick Rose. But I think right now their ceiling, they can make some noise in the playoff, but I don't expect them to come out of the East. When you look at the team, they are very good defensively, but when you look at them, you need to ask the question: is DeMar DeRozan, based on what he's doing now, even in the regular season, is he that go-to guy when you want a shot, when you want a play to be made in the playoffs, when the cookie crumbles, in the clutch at crunch time? Like you have Giannis, he can get in the ball, he can do his thing. There's KD, Embiid, the superstars in this league. Is DeMar DeRozan that guy that can actually, give him the ball in that, spot, either
Mid
him or
range, yeah.
KD, and
In
and
mid
let
range, yeah.
and let him do it in the playoffs. I'm saying regular season is fine, we see what he's doing, but in the playoffs, persons are questioning that. And out of all the teams, the Milwaukee, you can put the Philadelphia 76ers. There's Miami, tough, gritty defensive team. Not a good matchup against the Bulls. And I think they're wearing down, coming down into the season. We know they had the injury concerns. Zach LaVine is back, but he hasn't been playing well because of the players, the chemistry is not there right now because Caruso is out, Lonzo Ball is not back. So I think they're ceiling in the playoff. They can make it to the second round. You'll probably make some noise, but I don't see them going far and deep into the playoffs.
All right. Before I give you guys each a minute to talk about whatever, does anyone else want to say something about these these overrated Bulls?
No, it's just that I have the same concerns re Demar about his postseason play because I've seen how LeBron used to handle him when he was with the Raptors. So I'm still a wait to see if he got over that hurdle or if he taking game to another level in a postseason.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, definitely glad for your input. Hopefully, I must tell you guys, next week, we won't have a show. Next week Saturday, you giving you guys a break. To go ahead and rest your vocal cords. To come back for the following week. By that time, the Lakers should be comfortable in the plane, getting ready to see, who we will play. And no, you guys are laughing, but I think the Lakers are losing now. I already wrote this off as
And
a
they are going to lose the next game and play. So
no.
and
I think they play the Pelicans next. They'll beat them.
they will
Bobby,
beat them. Are you
Bobby,
going to make money on that?
I
This
mean, I'm
game
not.
not over yet. It's just a 5-point lead.
Oh, it's a 5-point lead now.
67-62 and a half.
come
Oh
on,
yeah.
Steph. Come on, Steph. Bring it home. Bring
LeBron
it
has
home.
No,
26. LeBron has 26 points. LeBron alone bringing it.
Boy, these Lakers fans are very. Them
LeBron,
just
LeBron alone.
them just
Oh, oh, oh,
them
oh,
have
hey,
faith, so
what?
much faith.
Hey, one last topic. One last topic.
No.
One last topic.
LeBron filling the stat sheet, trying to run away with that thing.
All right. So,
We'll see what he
so
do.
Gary? So, would you prefer
Mhm.
LeBron not fill the stat sheet and try to get others involved and lose by 60? So you see one can come forward and say, look,
No, but
in his 19th season, you and Vincent pull up some star. In his 19th season, look at LeBron.
Kems,
They never
I,
lose by 60 yet. Look at
Bro,
this.
so
Look at this.
Kems.
I
To be
know one.
honest,
And LeBron know one or two. But in all seriousness, I see some people comparing that if Kobe Bryant had this Lakers team, he would bring them to the playoffs. And I just want to know, because I want to know who not to invite back to the show.
Nah, bro.
So by
You
a
can't
show of
read the
hands,
basketball like that.
by a show of hands, I just want to see if anybody agree with that.
hard to prove. It's hard to quantify that.
Can't reason basketball. If people don't reason basketball like that, they're
That's
not.
why I'm tell Wally say
I
I
don't
about
want to agree with
basketball
that.
with Jimmy White because there's
Can't look on it, so.
No,
but
I
you see,
don't. I don't think so.
I mean, in Kobe 19
I
season, he
don't.
was averaging what 22.4, and he missed the playoffs 5 straight years. I mean, at
Mm.
that point in time, they didn't have any playing, so if you don't make the top eight, then you're goose cook. But Wally, I was telling them, hey Wally, I want you. Can you make it tomorrow 8 p.m. on the Mills podcast? You mute me, G.
Look ticklish, what's the topic?
I have to tell you these topics off here, dog.
All right.
We have some tough topics tomorrow. We have some tough topics. Grandpa don't want company. Grandpa say I for go church.
Run.
But yeah, no seriousness. No, I'm going to give you guys a minute. Obviously, there's a lot of things talking about. There's football that was being played. There was some track and field. KC, JC, Calabar, St. George's College looking good. We have athletics going on. I think the 60 meters run today. I think the female ran 6.99. Obviously Elaine closed down her season. So you guys can talk about anything, within your minute. Let me start with the Lakers man who I know is hurting right now. Devin.
Who ran 6?
Why, I'm hurting in every way because I'm trying to find that team. I'm going to ask you and Levon to send me a transfer form, see if we can jump on it.
Organist, I follow Kems with the organist.
Lakers, all the New York team. Them, last night I watched a game. I said, let me watch Knicks. I'm going to say, all right, Knicks have this.
Knicks?
So it's like, anyways, put aside that now. Kems, let me quickly.
Huh?
Let me quickly tell you what I want to talk about. It's Vogel. I'm going back to Vogel, right?
Yeah.
One thing that can't take away from, I would oppose a lot of things that you say about Vogel and whatever, but this whole aspect of him holding players accountable based on seeing it, because we're not in the locker room, we're not in the dressing room. I would tend to agree with you with that. But there's this report coming out that he's feeling the push. That's what, just the report alone get me annoyed. He's feeling the push to use Rush off the bench. I'm going to see if he has the guts to make Rush come off the bench. Because, like you said, if this was a Tyler or any other coach, probably would do it. Like, the report itself just kind of
Yes,
what
look
you're saying.
here.
Feeling the push. Why am I feeling the push? Is either I'm
Let,
going to take him off the starting lineup and let him come off the bench. But feeling the push is like he has to get the consent from somebody. I don't know. But I'm
Devin,
seeing if he's going to do it for the rest of the season and say, oh, it will play. That's just what I'm watching. I'm just watching to see if he's going to make Russ come off the bench and let somebody else start.
Devin, I don't know if you remember, Ty Lue went to LeBron and be like, hey, your boy D Wade not working out here, we have to send him back to Miami, because D Wade is a legend. We don't want to put him on the bench like that. So let us send him back to Miami and let him finish off his career there. So Ty Lue is a man that when him see it not working, he's not going to be like, all right, Westbrook, still stay in the starting lineup and continue to do foolishness. Absolutely not. So as I said, Vogel is not a leader of men. Him for coach Orlando, Indiana, those teams that the expectations are not high. But the LA team, nah, he needs to get out of there. Vincent, give me a minute, boss.
As I was thinking, remember who was a player who said that Giannis could not play,
Charles
would
Oakley.
not start? Charles Oakley, right? And
Rubbish.
and and
Rubbish.
No,
and
Rubbish.
Kems and I had a discussion, and just as Wally said, sometimes when you type, I don't think Kems read what you say. Him just go off. Read the first sentence and go off. Because I think I'd ask the question, what did Oakley say that was wrong? The problem we have sometimes with persons and with Charles Oakley and a number of other players when you see them analyze sometimes is that we tend to do it in a very lazy way. You understand? And when I say what did he say that was wrong, Charles Oakley is looking at Giannis in terms of how he plays now and saying that he wouldn't be able to play like that then. And he does have a point in the sense that if it's only to the basket you are going to go. But they know they play basket, they shot that lane, they kill you going down the basket. You understand? But my take is not that. I believe every single great player then and now are players that would adapt to whatever rules the game have and would have still been great. You understand? So whereas I can understand what Charles Barton was saying, what I was saying to you, Kens, was simple this. I believe, and if you go back and read it, I believe that great players, they adapt to rules, whether it is now or then. So when persons say players now could not play then, it's a lazy way of looking at what they are doing now and trying to put it back then. When you say players then could not play now, it's a lazy way of looking at what they did then and say that they couldn't play now. If you're
All
a
right,
great player,
I'll
would
tell you
adapt.
though. I'll tell you though, Vincent. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of those guys in that top 75, I don't believe
Mm-hmm.
those guys could play in this NBA right now, this fast-paced NBA.
And no, but Kems, remember, this fast-paced NBA is enabled with nutrition, coaching. They have all of these
Rule
TV things that they
changes,
use to coach,
rule
training,
changes.
everything, rule changes, everything. So you cannot say that.
never
You
ending
cannot
debate.
say that. You understand? If you are great, you are going to adapt to the
Adapt to
rules of the
whatever,
game,
yeah.
and you will be able to play. And that's
Agree.
what I believe.
All right,
Agree.
that is indeed a fair point. Cream.
Yes, sir. Yeah, tomorrow the Manchester derby.
Don't go there.
Look like
United is
don't
going
be
to get a
Does,
surprised.
does
beat
it does it still qualify as a derby though?
Don't be surprised if you're red. If
Ken's
you're
a
red
Wally
Red
Med,
City,
sir.
man. Yeah, man. Hopefully we get a good game to watch tomorrow still. And stop sleep on the nets, games. We are gonna wall Philly and we are gonna put over one knee and spank
Who that?
Brooklyn are gonna wall Philly, man. Put them over a knee and just behave yourself, boy.
All right, we'll see. One thing with sports, we always have the opportunity to see
Yeah.
what's going to happen. Always. Remember, Cream. Cream, you were the same one, You were the same one who tell me that Harden, Kyrie, KD going to win a championship. They're going to win a ring. This is the best offense in the league.
It was.
Nobody can stop them.
Nobody could.
Well,
Except injury.
Somebody did.
Injuries.
Did they win a championship? Yes or no?
Later.
All right. Did they even go to a finals? Okay. That was a failed operation. At least LeBron and AD won a ring. Whether it be bubble or not, they won
Bobby
a
Ring.
ring. Well, I bet you KD, Kyrie, and Harden would love a bubble ring right now. I bet you any money they would love a bubble ring. All right,
That's for
Gary,
sure.
go ahead,
Yeah, all
boss.
right. My minute quickly, a couple of things. Wanted to mention this in the for the Lakers fans. Um, I hear what Kim was saying about the Lakers feeling LeBron James in terms of the organization and the franchise. I don't really entirely agree, but I would say this: ever since you know, the great Dr. Boss passed and the franchise or the organization was turned over to Genie Boss, I think the in terms of the front office, the management structure, everything kind of went downhill. Because I remember Magic Johnson being in the front office, they should have never let him go.
Oh, no, they
Rob,
didn't. So they didn't let him go. What happened is that
I remember.
Magic Johnson
Mm,
Wanted
believed
a
that
different coach.
he wasn't allowed to make any decisions. Like Rob Pelinka. Who the hell is Rob Pelinka?
Fine. So
He's
yeah.
blasted Kobe's agent. This is freaking Magic Johnson. You listen to me.
So true. So Magic walked away, and that was
That was
everything
a
went
nail in
down
the
from
coffin,
there.
man.
Because I think Magic Johnson he's an icon, legend in the Lakers. That speaks in and of itself. So I believe a lot of these players coming in, these coaches, the attraction to the Lakers franchise, Rob Pelinka and Genie Boss being the head of that organization, kind of deterred a lot of moves and players and the decisions kind of went off track because of that. So that is really the reason why the Lakers are in this predicament right now. Secondly, the Brooklyn Nets fans, let me remind you guys, all the fanatics, remember last season we were promised a championship because it's the best three offensive weapons we ever seen in the history of the NBA. All of that, they didn't go to the finals. This year they're in 8th, and the team is actually worse. And you have more faith. A lot of you Brooklyn fans seem like you have more faith this season than last season. I say if they meet in the first round, if they meet even Nets or Miami Heat, probably a first round exit. So
No, it's definitely a first round exit they'll be
so only
getting.
just pray
Okay.
and fast and
And
hope for the best.
Wally, I'm going to let you have the last word, of course, because you're in a nice Sports Frenzy merch. I have to have you have the last word and you show off the merch. I'm so wonderful. Listen, again, remember, the same bashing want to give LeBron, I want the same thing for KD. Remember, KD decided to leave Steph Curry and to join Kyrie Irving. Fact. KD decided that he wanted Steve Nash to be the coach. Fact. KD decided that he want Blake Griffin. You went to talk to Blake Griffin, remember? And he went to talk to LaMarcus Aldridge, remember? KD decided those things. Fact. So KD is really the one that put this team together that is unable to win. Fact. But I've never heard anybody say anything about KD. Fact. Remember, KD is also 6 years younger than LeBron. Fact. Wally, go ahead.
It's different. It's different. You want everybody to be held to the same standard as LeBron. Everybody is not
I hear
claiming.
KD is the
Everybody is
best
not
player in the
claiming
world.
to be the GOAT. Like
I hear
LeBron is
K.
GOAT, so he's being held to GOAT standards. You can't
Exactly,
hold KD to
Kareem.
GOAT standards.
Exactly. Nobody's going to beat KD
Nah,
because KD
LeBron
has
is in his
never.
19th season. In his 19th, Tim Duncan was averaging freaking 8 points in his 19th season.
Yeah.
LeBron is averaging 29.
Now that
And I
that
still want LeBron to drag this bug
Kem,
Lakers
so
for him back.
so
Goat,
so what? So
self-proclaimed
Kem,
goat, man.
wait,
Self-proclaimed goat of his team.
Kem, you know what I don't like with you guys? You talk about LeBron James is in the 19th season and Tim Duncan in 19th season. Tim Duncan played 4 years at college. LeBron James came straight from high school. So those
Okay,
4 years extra
okay.
Teach
that
him,
is there.
teach
So
him,
come
Vinny.
on,
Teach
bro.
him, teach him, teach
Teach
him,
and
Come with
teach,
that.
Vinny.
Don't come with that, bro.
All right.
teach
Don't
him.
come with that.
How much years Kareem Abdul-Jabbar play of
He
college?
played 19 years. And he
No.
played 4 years at match him with LeBron.
Yeah,
He played 19 years and he played 4
14
years in
points.
college.
He
He
averaged
played
14
4 years.
points.
He played 4 years in college. He
All right.
dominated the greatest college player ever, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
How about Kobe
All right.
Bryant? Did Kobe Bryant go to college?
Give Wally a minute. Give
Yeah,
Wally a
All right,
minute.
go
give
ahead.
Wally a minute.
Why not get him Vinny?
No, we're not gonna need a minute. I just very really glad that OBJ won his ring. Really rooting for him. A lot of persons with egg on their face.
Vincent never liked him.
I don't see how I don't hear all those persons who were calling him a cancer, a bad teammate, all of that. The reason why Baker is not doing well and
Baker
all that.
maker,
I don't hear any of
Baker
those
fanatics,
persons
man.
with that energy
Baker
for OBJ. Also very, very happy for Aaron Donald. He definitely deserved it. Really hope CP3 can get a ring this year, and this will be a good season for
sticky,
him.
it's
And
sticky.
big up today, and condolences to all of those who are family friends of the greatest leg spinner of all time, Shane Warne. Um,
Warney.
he
Yeah.
I mean, persons would
Legend.
argue that he is the greatest bowler of all time, because leg spin is a more difficult art than off spin. So and that's a reasonable argument, but a legend, a legend. And I just want to say to us as men, I don't know if on the male podcast, really look at things like health and so on. But he was just 52, and he died of a heart attack. And there are several males who, in their early 50s who are dying of heart attacks. So, as males, we kind of have a tendency just to, take things for granted. Boy, we have a little stomach ache, and we say, boy, all right, it's gas, we just have to drink like a tea. While, the body will give you signals. So we could pay attention to the signals, go and get ourselves checked so we can live long, healthy, and productive lives.
Agree
One
with that
thing,
one. 1 second, Kems. I agree with that 100%, Wally. And let me do like Kems and apologize. Where OBJ is concerned, I did blast him on the podcast. I did say that man is trouble and a cancer, and he has proven me wrong at the Rams, and he did well to the point where I really hope that Rams, and even if not Rams, if he does get his money, he did
yeah,
well at
Rams.
final year. Me really
It's
hope
hard to
him
keep
getting
him.
money. Yeah, it's a go hard to keep him, but I
No,
really
Rams
hope him
actually
getting
said
money.
Rams actually say they actually came out and said OBJ is a priority to come back to them.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, I really, he has proved I am wrong, and he proved me wrong.
All right. What I will say lastly to add to Wally's point before we all leave, if Jamaican parents took the time out to teach their children about health and all those kind of stuff, the same way they take to teach them about religion, I believe we would be in a much better space than where we are right now, where health and things is concerned. I'm not saying religion is bad, but I'm saying balance out the thing. The same emphasis you place on religion, you place on the health, you place on the financial literacy, you place on all these things, so you can have a balanced child. But Wally, I would really love if you join the Mails podcast, because tomorrow is going to be absolute fire. Right, it's going to be some real fireworks up in there tomorrow. You know, if I come for the whole time, if I can come 1 hour 8 to 9, we can definitely appreciate that. Or even 8:30. A lot of females are always there to support, so you can wear your no shirt or your sleeveless. You
No,
don't
sure,
want to
for
show off
people
your
them
arms
things.
and so.
No, all
So,
always this.
but before, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. I enjoyed the discussion. Let us go and watch Lakers lose. Producer, big up
Yeah.
yourself. Everyone in the comment
No,
section, thank you so much. Continue to like, subscribe, and share. Have a great
Bless.
night, guys.
yeah,
Bless.
blessings.